Well, the Taliban barely holding on to their last grip on Kunduz. Will they surrender?
And the rain is cleared this Thanksgiving morning. What about the rest of your holiday weekend? We'll have the forecast next on News 10 Midday.
Vacuum Center is your store for sewing gifts and more, like the new Disney machines from Brother. New inspirations to make your own Disney embroidered creations at Pashane's, your sewing and vacuum superstore in Carmichael, Elk Grove, and now in Roseville.
And now, this is News 10 Midday.
And hello, welcome to News 10 Midday on this Thanksgiving Day. We hope it's the start of a special holiday for you and your family. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Smith.
And I'm Dana Jacobson, in for Dan Elliott. We have several guests lined up for you on Thanksgiving Day. Before you hit the stores to shop tomorrow, Dave Kovar is going to join us with some important tips to protect yourself from pickpockets and thieves.
And if you're considering a little cosmetic procedure to look better for the holidays, how do you pick a plastic surgeon? We'll be talking with a local plastic surgeon about that today.
And pumpkin pie may be your traditional dessert, but have you ever considered making flan on Thanksgiving? Ernesto's, voted Sacramento's best Mexican restaurant, joins us today with the recipe.
But first, let's get you up to date on the news stories of the day. The Northern Alliance says Taliban commanders have surrendered Kunduz, but there are conflicting reports as the Taliban leaders vow never to surrender. Kunduz is the last remaining stronghold held by the Islamic militia in northern Afghanistan after they abandoned the capital Kabul and most of the country this month. Osama bin Laden, meanwhile, remains in hiding.
And after leaving us wet and soggy and slowing down the holiday rush on the highways, the skies have finally cleared this morning. But what's ahead? Monica Woods will have an extended holiday weekend forecast.
And look at the crowd. An estimated 10,000 people turned out in Sacramento this morning in what has become a Thanksgiving morning tradition, the Run to Feed the Hungry. The money raised in the 5 and 10K race benefits the Sacramento Food Bank Services, now marking its 25th year of helping those in need in our community. And among the runners...
One more time. Let's do it in slow-mo.
There she is. That's Dana Jacobson. And Dana, how did you do that so quickly? You just ran and she came running in, quick shower, and here she is. How was the race?
It was great, actually. It was a little slow at the start. There's so many people out there that you're kind of walking and you're trying to get running. We finally got going. Our time was a little slower than we wanted, but I have to say, Connie Hamataka, who works here, Teresa Payne, and a trainer of mine, Shelly Alves, helped me get through it. It was a lot of fun. It's for a good cause,
and good way to start Thanksgiving.
Yeah, a lot of people out there. They said they were hoping for 11,000 people, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so an incredible effort for them.
It is, and part of that is the weather turned out to be great. A lot of people were concerned that it might be raining this morning, and as it turned out, it is beautiful out there. The sun is out, and it's a nice warm morning, actually.
We all had jackets on. Everybody was kind of getting ready, waiting for the rain to come. Right before the start of it, sun came out. It was beautiful.
I wonder if Monica Woods had anything to do with that. Let's go over to her now.
I don't know. You must not have been listening to the forecast this morning. We were expecting the showers to last just a little bit longer this morning. Now we're starting to see some clearing, though. It really moved through quite quickly, and that's good news for the forecast today because we are starting to see a few peaks of sunshine here in the background. Let's take a look at how things are shaping up temperature-wise. Right now in Sacramento, 62 degrees. We've got a west to southwest wind about 5 to 10 miles per hour, 59% humidity. Live at Stockton, also seeing some peaks of sunshine, and that is warming the temperatures as well. Temperature right now in Stockton at 62 degrees. We've got a west wind about 10 miles per hour, so still quite breezy, 65% humidity. And at Tahoe, let's take a live picture up there. Still cloudy. We've got reports of light snow. Temperature right now, not reporting a temperature, but right around 40 degrees. Okay, and a look towards the Bay Area. Clearing skies usually look towards the west to see what's headed our way. And as you can see, plenty of sunshine in the city. San Francisco looking at mostly sunny skies right now. Just a few clouds in the forecast for the afternoon. Here's how our forecast is going to shape up for today. Partly cloudy skies, high of 64 on this Thanksgiving sunset at 4:49. I'll have more on our 7-day forecast, and there's more rain on the way coming up in the next half hour. Back to you guys.
But it looks like it is a beautiful Thanksgiving Day. Thank you, Monica. Well, officially it starts tomorrow, the busiest shopping season of the year, and many of us will be carrying more money than usual in our wallets, and our hands will be busy with the bags full of Christmas gifts. In short, we are vulnerable to pickpockets and thieves. Well, let's go over to Dana now. She's with our guest, Dave Kovar. Dana?
Well, hopefully we've got self-defense expert Dave Kovar here to give us some tips on staying safe while shopping. Dave, I know I come out of the store, it doesn't have to be this holiday season, and I've got bags I'm loaded down with, and they say you're really kind of vulnerable for people to come up and attack you.
Absolutely. Well, I've got, as a matter of fact, you bring up the bag scenario. I brought up and this is what you often see. Come on out here, Shara. You see someone walking with lots of bags in front of them. Keep walking there, girl. And she's kind of oblivious and not aware of her surroundings. Exactly. Good job. Heck of a job. Now, a safer way is, come on through, Sandy. So if you can then be alert and aware of your surroundings. Sounds simple, but I want you to notice something that she's doing right here as well. She's got her keys out already, okay? Now, most people, when they get to their car, what they do is they stop and they open up their purse and they dig through, oblivious to their surroundings, okay? And it's a good idea is to already have that one out, okay? Now, most of shopping safety, thank you, ma'am, okay, is, we'll call you out in a second, is common sense stuff that we already know, like shopping with a buddy, all right? And if you ever find yourself thinking, gee, I probably shouldn't go to the store right now, it's a little late, then don't. You know, we should be able to shop anywhere at any time we want, but the reality is we need to live a safe lifestyle.
And what about, you know, when you're parking, you probably have to worry about that too, that where you park, maybe park under a light, they're saying, look at your surroundings before
and
you go
another thing
out.
when parking, if at all possible, always park so that the door of your car is facing the store that you're going in. There's clear vision between you and your partner, and just check your car before you get in. And it's always a good idea to get in the habit of, like, when you get in your car, the first thing you do before you put your seatbelt on is lock your door. Just make that a habit. Then seatbelt on, and don't spend time checking through stuff there. If you want to look through your merchandise, drive somewhere else, because if someone was watching you, the time that they're going to attack is right about the time they get in the car.
What about where you're carrying maybe your purse
Good
and things
point.
like that?
I'm going to call these two ladies out for a second. Come on back out if you would. Yeah, if you're by yourself and you're close to a wall, you want the purse close to the wall. But let's just say we have Sandy and Shara here. You notice their purse is on the inside.
Right.
And the reason why is, if let's say I'm someone that's going to try to be a purse snatcher, okay, it's harder for me to get through the middle than it would be to the outside. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult, so to speak.
And I'm guessing you hate the purse that I have, which is the backpack purse that is
Well,
slung over. And
hate is a
there
strong
you go.
word.
It's right
Strong
there for
word,
them to
yes.
take it.
Let's go through some some self-defense though. I'm going to call Gordon. Come on out. Gordon's going to be our bad guy today. And let's start with some front ones. Great. Grab a couple bags if you would. Okay. So let's imagine that Sandy's walking out to her car and all of a sudden she's confronted. Now the first thing is that she's going to drop the bags and she's creating some space. Now, the concept with this is that she didn't care. If it's worth fighting over, you insure it. Don't worry about it. All right. Now this also kind of works as a barrier between her. Now I like the hands open a little bit better than closed. She's been doing martial arts a long time, so she opens them up. But from here, what's going on is that the average bad guy does not have an alternative plan. He has an alternative victim. As soon as she sees that this guy, he knows that she's aware of what's going on, he might not want to decide to attack her after all. But let's see what happens if we do. Let me move some bags. Let's do a couple self-defense techniques. Let's do it like a wrist grab. So some common things that someone can use. First off, she's going to strike to the most vulnerable place on the body. One more time, okay? Yell nice and loud as you're going. Go for it. Go for it. All right, what she did here, ouch. I hate when that happens. Yeah, okay. Is she's striking with a palm strike. Okay, come on out, Shara. Rear attacks, very scary, all right? Someone comes up and you don't know what's going on. Probably everybody's worst scare. Go for it. Go for it. Elbow. Oh! Very nice.
And we'll end on a strong note there. And obviously, people just need to be concerned. Be smart.
Yes.
Watch your surroundings. Be aware of who's around you.
Exactly.
Dave Kovar, thank you for joining us. Thanks for the quick tips and happy shopping to everyone. Jen, back to you.
Some great reminders. Thank you. Well, on this Thanksgiving Day, many of us are looking for ways to turn our gratitude into action to help those less fortunate. We'll tell you how you can join us in collecting coats for kids. And in the heart of small-town America, the resolve and gratitude for our many blessings is reinforced by recent events. We'll be right back with News 10 Midday.
It's a surprise party with Bear in the Big Blue House and News 10. Take your family for free. Just enter to win family fun packs at news10.net.
I'm News 10's Dale Chornak. Over the past 10 years, you've helped keep kids warm with your generous donations to our winter coat drive. This year, we've added something new. If you can't make it down to one of News 10's drop-off sites, we've set up a special fund with the Salvation Army where you can help. So please, join News 10's Coats for Kids, and let's keep every child warm.
Brought to you by Sleep Train Mattress Centers. Your ticket to a better night's sleep.
Well, as you count your blessings this Thanksgiving, there's a way to help those less fortunate. The News 10's 11th annual Coats for Kids drive kicks off today.
That's right. So beginning today, you can drop off any new or gently used coats at all Swanson's Cleaners, Jamba Juice locations, and Gottschalk's as well. You can also drop off your coats here at News 10. This year, our goal is to collect 25,000 coats, and volunteers are also needed to help organize and distribute the coats. For more information on the program or how you can volunteer, you can call our News 10's Coats for Kids information line. Here it is on your screen. It's 916-321-3362. You can also visit our website at news10.net. The coats, once we collect them all, will be distributed by the Salvation Army on January 12th.
And joining us today from the Salvation Army with more on this important project, Sarah Bentley. Sarah, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This obviously is a great cause and a great way that people can give in a very easy way.
Yes, indeed. There are many thousands of people around Sacramento children that need the coats this holiday season. So we're looking for people to please give generously.
Last year, we did meet our goal of 20,000 coats. We've kind of upped it this year to 25,000. And this year, we're really trying to focus on children's coats because that is where the greatest need is right now.
Absolutely, yes. And we want to make sure that every child is taken care of this winter season.
And it's not really the only way that the Salvation Army is giving. There are other volunteer opportunities for people out there?
Yes, there certainly are. Particularly, we need people to help us with our giving tree aspects, where people come and give toys at the giving tree, and also many other areas. And if people are interested in volunteering, there is a number that they can call. It's the Salvation Army Christmas hotline, if you will. It's area code 916-679-3692. And they'll be directed to volunteer opportunities.
And another good way to help the Salvation Army is when you see the kettles out there and the bell ringers.
That's right.
Drop a few coins or some money into that as
wonderful
well.
red kettles. So
and probably an easy way to spend your day too. Spend an hour maybe at one of the kettles, working one of the kettles, helping out.
Yes, indeed. So please call and help us make this holiday season more helpful for other people in Sacramento.
Sarah, have you seen an increased need in our local community? Are there more people that need help out there?
I think so. I think that there are always people that need help, and we really, the Salvation Army is always there year-round helping people in need, and particularly at the Christmas season. We want to do all we can for the people of Sacramento, and we can do this with the generous support of the community of Sacramento, for which we're very grateful.
And you know, part of this, as we said, it's what, our 10th or 11th year of the
Yes, that's right.
for Kids, and we love to go out in front of the studio. We'll be telling you the date of that, and you would not believe all the people who drive up in cars. Some of them open their trunks, have bags and bags of coats.
Wonderful, isn't it?
It is.
Yes. And the Salvation Army thanks News 10 too for your support.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful endeavor.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Too.
Thank you.
Again, let's just put this up again. Another reminder, you can drop off new or gently used coats at any Swanson's Cleaners, Jamba Juice, and Gottschalk's locations. Also here at News 10, we're at 400 Broadway. The goal is 25,000 coats. We do need volunteers again to help organize and distribute them. There's the information hotline number in the 916 area code, 321-3362. So please help us out this year. Let's meet that goal of 25,000 coats for the community.
Really a great cause. Well, those living in big cities aren't the only ones feeling the effects of our changed world now. News 10's Jonathan Mumm has been gauging how our nation is healing since September 11th by checking in with residents in small towns. Recently, he visited the town of Oakdale.
A gloomy day before Thanksgiving in Oakdale, but spirits weren't gloomy, even with the war and more news of anthrax. In fact, just the opposite.
It's kind of like the Grinch that stole Christmas, that tried to steal Christmas. You can't steal it.
Besides, there's all those encouraging reports from the battlefield.
You know what? I don't think it's a sense of revenge. I think it's really an understanding that this is what's got to be done, and if it's not, we're going to be buried.
It used to be the Dodge dealership.
It's the kind of feeling those who live here say you could expect to find in Oakdale.
Oakdale is small town America. Yeah, it's, you know, the high school football team is still the big deal in town.
Its claim to fame, though, is the Hershey's factory. Hershey's may be the largest employer in town. It may be the biggest tourist draw, but it's not the only popular place in Oakdale. Particularly this time of year. Everybody heads to the Moss Rose Bakery.
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
I didn't even see you standing there.
That's my son William.
Well, hello, William.
He likes Mary Ann's cookies.
I don't blame you.
What makes these cookies, rolls, French bread, and pies so good?
She has a special brick oven back there that makes the greatest bread.
It's a brick oven that has been baking bread since the 1920s. This time of year, neither it nor bakery owner Mary Ann Heath get much of a break.
I stayed up for 2 nights. I haven't been home for 2 days.
And this year, she thinks it's even more important than ever to have everything just right for Thanksgiving.
I've seen people talk more about family this year and how important it is to get together.
Her customers see it too.
More family-oriented this year. My granddaughter even came in from Utah for Thanksgiving. She's in college, so we were happy about that. I didn't know that till last night.
In fact, some say there's really a different feeling to Thanksgiving this year.
I think there's sort of a humbleness to us, and I think there's a lot of sense of pride out there now. I think, you know, it's a tragic event. It's just horrible, but
we're going to make it.
This year, doubly so. Jonathan Mumm, News 10.
Tomorrow night at 5:30, News 10 will bring you a special on small-town America and how it's faring as part of the new home front. It's tomorrow at 5:30 on News 10.
Well, with the holidays here, a lot of people are concerned about looking their best for all of those holiday parties, and some might even be considering a little cosmetic procedure.
So Dr. Jack Bruner is here to give us some quick tips on finding a good plastic surgeon. And Dr. Bruner, of course, from the Plastic Surgery Center, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Is this a positive time of year where people really do start looking at plastic surgery and start thinking it's maybe time to give it a lift?
Believe it or not, yes. They do plastic surgery in the spring for their swimming suit attire, and they do it for the holiday attire also. And yes, they do a lot of plastic surgery. And this is always a time when we try to put out the word, how do you find a good plastic surgeon? And the medical field in general, accreditation is everything. Certification, this is what we have to rely on. And hospital privileges and things like that. Traditional medicine has this pretty well covered. I know we hear this over and over again. People forget that. They pay attention to ads and things like that, but hospital privileges and board certification almost guarantees that you will receive a very skillful surgeon.
So you do see a lot of ads now. A lot of plastic surgeons are advertising because I guess it's a very competitive field.
Yep.
So how do you know? How do you find out if somebody is board certified?
Well, you can check with the American Board of Plastic Surgery. You can check with the American Board of Medical Specialties. You can check with the Medical Board of California. They have a website that will tell what the specialty is. And it's pretty easy. Or call the hospitals and find out if the doctor has hospital privileges of that particular specialty.
And how can you be sure that you're actually in a safe hospital or a safe clinic that you're having your surgery done in?
Good question. Plastic surgery centers, any outpatient surgery center has an accrediting process. You can be state licensed, or you can receive an accrediting certificate from 3 companies that do this. And they're very strict. It's very, very strict.
Now, what about getting in touch with patients who maybe have gone to a certain plastic surgeon? Will plastic surgeons release patient lists that maybe, hey, can call up, did you have a good experience, that kind of thing, or does that happen?
I think that's another wise thing that patients should do. Ask the plastic surgeon, usually after you've met him or her, and say, do you have a patient that I can talk to, or 1 or 2, and that works very well.
Always good to get a recommendation.
Yes, it is.
Well, Dr. Jack Bruner, we thank you so much for coming in on this Thanksgiving. I know you and your wife are big skiers, and you're waiting for the snow to fill up the resort. So.
It's snowing as we speak. Thank you.
Very good. Have a nice holiday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's not too soon to start thinking about something different to whip up for your next holiday party. How about some flan?
Sounds good. And if you're looking for a fun flick to cap off your celebration, how do Robert Redford and Brad Pitt strike you? News 10's Midday is glad you're celebrating with us.
McDonald's, we love to see you smile.
Well, on this Thanksgiving, you probably have the turkey in the oven, the pies ready to bake. How about whipping up a different kind of dessert for the Christmas season ahead? Well, Chef Luis Estrada from Ernesto's is here. Ernesto's, by the way, the winner of Sacramento Magazine's Best Mexican Restaurant category. Congratulations on that, Luis.
Thank you.
Good to have you here, and happy Thanksgiving, and you're going to cook up some flan for us today.
Some flan. It's a great dessert for Thanksgiving, so it's a great idea. We start with we have the ingredients.
Okay.
We have some cream cheese.
Cream cheese, all right.
Use some, it's just frying
the rind of the orange
lemon and the orange. 6 eggs, some cinnamon, some vanilla, and some milk. And also we have the condensed, the milk, the sweet.
The condensed sweet milk, okay.
Yeah. So we start using the mix. We have some milk, about a quarter of gallon.
Okay, and we'll put the recipe up for all the portions that you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
this is one of my husband's favorite desserts, so I'm watching closely.
We have some 6 eggs, about 6 eggs.
6 eggs, okay.
The cream cheese also.
And now the cream cheese, it's very soft. Do you leave it out to soften it up a little bit? Or?
Yeah, just we mix with the eggs.
All right. And I'm going to move this delicious drink and find out what that is in a moment, but just so we can watch you. Okay, I'm backing up.
Be careful.
Okay, so you mix that.
We try to mix it all in there.
And do you whip it up so it's pretty thick? Do you want a thick mixture?
Yeah.
A nice deep bowl helps at times like this. It doesn't go splattering all over.
Also, we have the Mexican hot chocolate. It's better if you try with the Mexican hot chocolate.
Okay. I hope you can hear what we're talking about because he's telling me about the Mexican hot chocolate and the coffees over here, which look wonderful. And we'll get a shot of it. There it is, the Mexican hot chocolate and the coffee.
Okay, when you have the milk, you add some the cinnamon, about 1 slice.
Okay, the cinnamon sticks go in the milk.
Some vanilla.
Vanilla, all right. That's quite a bit of vanilla, but that's one of the...
And lemons and the orange rinds. So.
Oh, you put the whole rind in, just like that?
Yeah, just for flavor. You have to take it off after that, so just...
Okay, so you mix that all in there, and then you cook it.
Let it broil about...
Oh, let it boil.
Yeah, about 5-10 minutes. And also you add the sweet milk, the condensed milk.
Okay, the condensed milk goes in, sweetened condensed milk. Ooh, this is looking nice and rich. Okay. And then you're going to whip that up a little bit more.
Yeah, I know you will have too much time until
okay, yeah, well, we get the idea then, so you whip that up some more.
You will mix all back again. Yeah. It's coming, our 10 years anniversary. For the next, we start the next Sunday. We're going to have mariachi for Tour de Flan, tequila tasting from Jose Cuervo, margarita tasting also.
Well, I definitely want to do that. Their 10th anniversary celebration that lasts for a whole week.
So now you have to come see us and save us space from the food to try the flan.
I tell you what, Luis, while you're finishing that up, let's kind of look at this final product, because tell us how you got the glaze on top. Oh, you actually have that over there.
Yeah,
it's the
so
sugar.
you have to add.
All right, you're adding that to your milk. Okay.
Just mix.
So he's actually doing the whole process here today. And then here you have the sugar
we try to make some caramel right here.
Okay, so you have just sugar in there melted?
Just sugar, yeah.
And then how does it get the caramel color, though?
Because when you wait about 5 minutes, they take it brown. So
it just turns brown on its own, so you don't add anything else to get the brown
just the
color.
sugar.
Ah. Okay, so as that browns up, we can tell you if you'd like the recipe for this, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Flan, care of News 10, Post Office Box 10, Sacramento 95812. We'll also have it on our website at news10.net. Any other tips for us there?
Absolutely, you have to bake about 350 degrees. And you get a big pan.
Yeah, like this. So let's take another look at the final product here. So you have the big pan, and then you put the caramelizing on the top.
You wait about 45 minutes on the bake, and you bake for about 45 minutes, and that's all.
Wow. Well, Luis Estrada, you make it look easy, and if you'd like the recipe, just send for it, and we'll get it to you. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and congratulations on 10 years and on winning Best Mexican Restaurant.
Thank you. We'll be waiting for you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. And Dana, look at this. I think there's a piece for you after you did that run this morning.
I am really hungry right now. That's all I'm going to say. Well, if you're hungry, you're probably going to have a pretty big meal tonight. And if you're looking for something to do after dinner, how about Robert Redford and Brad Pitt? Well, do they interest you? George Bonacchio reports the thriller Spy Game opens today.
Central Intelligence. Train you as an agent. You'd be working for me, mostly undercover.
In Spy Game, Robert Redford plays a CIA agent who becomes Brad Pitt's mentor. The film is played out between 1974 and 1990 and takes an unflinching look at the CIA. Redford's character is very mysterious and extremely smart.
I was very attracted to a character that had to think on 2 or 3 tracks at the same time, had to think quick on his feet when something would happen that wasn't expected. You have to develop an acute sense of fast, quick thinking and decisions that have to be made in the spur of the moment. That's not easy stuff. That can assault your senses. Every building, every room, every situation, a snapshot. I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm also checking the room, memorizing the people, what they're wearing. Then I ask the question, what's wrong with this picture? There's not many characters like that around these days. It's not a terribly subtle environment we live in. The business has moved more towards a youth market, which means it's more dependent on action and simpler high-concept fare.
And Redford's fine with that, but he enjoyed being in a movie that's geared to make you think and make you wonder what's coming next.
Because that's the whole point of it. You have to keep them guessing. You're a step ahead of the audience. The audience cannot know what's going on, and I don't think they do. Where did you learn to shoot? Boy Scout, sir.
Are you kidding me?
No, sir.
George Pinocchio reporting.
All right, I had to bring over the finished product here for you, Dana. Doesn't it? Already took a bite, though. that is
looks great.
excellent.
All right, I
really,
gotta
really
take a bite
good.
now.
And very, very light. You know, sometimes you think it's heavy, but isn't that delicious?
I'm not a big flan person, and that's excellent.
Oh,
It's the
she
caramel, I
is
think that
now.
makes it- yeah, I am now. I'm going to Ernesto's to get some.
Well, still ahead, if you're out-of-town Thanksgiving guests are a little bit late, we have some travel news that you might want to take into consideration.
And if you think it's a bit soggy down here, take a trip up to the Sierra. News 10 Midday continues.
Actually, it's nice down here now. The sun's out. She is one of the people helping to make the foster care system work. Meet Tina Richardson, coming up tonight at 6 on News 10.
And now, this is News 10 Midday.
The wet and soggy weather has cleared this Thanksgiving morning, but with the rain yesterday and snow in the Sierra, holiday travel has been getting a little bit slower in Northern California. Welcome back to News 10 Midday. I'm Dana Jacobson in for Dan Elliott.
And I'm Jennifer Smith. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We hope you're having a very special holiday with your family and friends this year. But for some people, it has been a challenging trip to get to their Thanksgiving feast. We begin our team coverage of the Thanksgiving weather and its impact on Northern California. Let's start with Jane McCarthy, who is up in Blue Canyon. Pretty scene behind you, Jane, and now it looks like the sun has come out.
Yes, Jennifer. Good news. Nothing is falling from the sky right now. And what little traffic there is flowing pretty smoothly. Chains are not required right now. That wasn't the case earlier. In fact, chains have been required most of the morning, and a lot of people who came up early thought they would escape those chain controls. Slushy, slow going, and sometimes slick. That's the best way to describe the trip over Donner Summit. And you do not pass go without chains on your tires.
I have 3 sets of chains at home that I didn't put in the truck because I didn't think I was going to need them.
Chains are $59 a set.
Larry Leal has seen his kind 1,000 times. He says chains aren't the only things his fair weather customers come in without.
Oh, I have people that come in the door here that are in their little shower shoes and shorts and t-shirts, and there's ice all over them.
Well, I dress like this every day. San Diego's a little bit warmer than this, so no, I didn't think it was going to be cold.
A little more, nice and easy.
And cold it is, but Reed's shorts are far from the most unique getup we gathered on tape today. Do you really think this is kilt weather, though?
Absolutely.
That's right. John Jensen feels quite confident in his kilt, and he's the first to defend his footwear.
My feet feel great. Wool socks. If you have wool socks on, you're set.
Larry, back at the Shell station, certainly has something to say about that.
Put something on your feet, you know. Did your mother tell you how to dress?
John says he's dressed just as he likes. Well, almost.
This is the Utilikilt, which is fine, but I've ordered my family tartan.
For special occasions.
Everyday wear.
So on this day, the Utilikilt will have to do as John does what he must to get to Gerlach.
I'm on my way to a Thanksgiving dinner out in the desert about 100
Hopefully for John's sake, the desert is a little drier. Again, things looking better right now, both 80 and 50 open with no controls, but the roads are very, very wet. So Jennifer, later tonight you can expect it to get a little icy, so do be careful up here. And I have one other note. We were giving Mark Pepper a bad time this morning because he's worked for News 10 for 19 plus years, never been to Blue Canyon until Thanksgiving 2001. Can you believe that?
How did he get out of that assignment until now?
I've been here like 10 million times.
Well, I'm still thinking about John's quilt and that footwear he had on.
He got the kilt in Seattle, in case anyone's interested.
Okay. Thank you, Jane.
Well, packed roads were found all around Northern California last night because of the rush to get out of town, and Mother Nature didn't really cooperate. News 10's Cornell Bernard has more on some traveler troubles.
It's a slow holiday getaway out of Stockton. Very slow.
Going nowhere.